In today's news, we are live with the one and only Brent Hoyte on the launch of his new gospel album.
Leonora Delville Primary School hosts a very successful career day.
The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is now urging bike and scooter owners to collect.
What does decolonization mean for the BVI? A discussion continues at the Frederick A. Pickering Memorial Lecture series this Sunday.
We also see the BVI Red Cross urging residents and businesses to be prepared ahead of the above-average hurricane season. All that and so much more on today's edition of 284 News.
The wind.
What in the hell?
I'm freaking out.
Is about these people.
It's always a pleasure coming to you live and direct from the
What's poppin'? What's really good?
Davis has won it for the Lakers.
Welcome, beautiful people. It's Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. A terrific Thursday that is to each and every one of you. I'm Ron Grant.
And my name is Javon Wilson. So happy to be back and joining you out of 284 Media, of course, for today's edition of 284 News, where we bring you local, regional, as well as international content. Now, topping our headlines today, we see the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force reminding owners of seized scooters as well as motorcycles that these items can now be collected at the Roadtown police stations with proof of ownership. Now, seized scooters or cycles that are unclaimed by owners will either be sold or auctioned or destroyed. Moving on, tomorrow is a very big day for CCT.
Yes,
CCT Fiber is back. Cable TV services are now set to be launched tomorrow, so be sure to join us tomorrow for live coverage as CCT continues to bring cutting-edge service to your home. And of course, coming out of recent cabinet decisions, we now see that fully vaccinated persons entering the territory from U.S. Virgin Islands, the Puerto Rico region, as well as St. Martin, without overnight stay will now be screened on arrival using the rapid antigen testing. Viewers, we're going to head straight into today's newscast. Now, the students of the Leonora Delville Primary School were today treated to their annual Career Day activity that saw students meeting with and interacting with professionals across many industries. Careers. Now, we here at 284 Media had the opportunity to essentially introduce some of the students to the world of media and, of course, the amazing prospects that comes with the industry. We spoke to news, the importance of facts, interviews, as well as the art of listening. But perhaps I think one of the best highlights was a mock interview that was done with a student from the school. Her name is Destiny, and it was beautiful listening.
Good morning, guys. My name is Javon Wilson, and I am coming to you live on behalf of 284 Media. Now today, we are so excited to be speaking to our guest. She is no other than Destiny of the Leonora Delville Primary School. And she is here to tell you all about coronavirus through the eyes of a child. All right? So Destiny, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you feeling? I am excellent. Thank you so much. So Destiny, I've been hearing lots of good things about you. I heard that you are well versed on the coronavirus and you want to share with the world what you know. So if you can for us, can you please just tell us a little bit about coronavirus? What is coronavirus?
Ron, what was so interesting about our mock interview with Destiny is the fact that she knew so much about coronavirus. I think essentially, generally, we see kids knowing the basic stuff,
of course,
but hearing her understanding of the fact that it is not a new virus. Coronavirus has definitely been around for quite a number of years, but essentially it's a new strain of the virus. I think really enticed the class, and it really showed that our students are really au fait with what's going on.
And they're paying attention. I love to see it.
Absolutely. Now, our very own reporter, Mr. Kamal Haynes, also caught up with the guidance counselor, who also played a very critical role in today's activities, Mr. Cedric Thomas, who said that despite the constraints of COVID-19, he's very happy that the school was able to push forward with the project. Listening.
Very good question. So last year, because we weren't able to be together physically, we decided that this year we kind of had to, just for the sake of the kids. It was a bit difficult, yes, but one of the things that I noticed is that the community members were very willing to come in and share with the students. I guess everybody is feeling that need to be together, need to share with one another. So we kind of found that it was important to actually have this day and make it work.
In terms of getting the children together and obviously wearing the mask now, tell me how it was in terms of briefing the children ahead of today.
Right. So of course, the kids are actually used to the idea of wearing masks. They're used to washing their hands. As you walked in, there were washing stations. There was hand sanitizer. So the kids are actually very used to the idea of wearing masks. So it wasn't too much of briefing them on telling them what was going to happen. They know that, as people walk in, you have to maintain your 3 feet, 6 feet, and make sure your hands are washed and wear your mask as people come in. So it was more of the regular, really and truly, more of things that they're already used to.
And what was the most...
Now, viewers, as expected, there's always a few careers that dominate on Career Day, and I think you'd be very surprised at the students' main choice this year. Listening.
Entrepreneur would probably be the most popular one right now. Usually you would think it's a doctor or maybe a policeman or a lawyer, but entrepreneur, there are a few of the younger girls that are dressed as businesswomen, which is actually very good to see that they have that self-initiative, that idea of I want to own a business, I want to create, I want to be the leader in something. So it was actually very heartwarming to see that, yeah. So entrepreneur.
And can you speak to me as it pertains to the excitement of the kids when they found out that they were going to have the career day today?
As I walked in this morning, everybody kind of just wanted to show off their uniform or whatever they were wearing. So the excitement is at the very top, and I'm very happy to see that they're excited to share what they wear, what they have, and I'm just trying to keep more surprises for them coming throughout the day, so there'll be more people coming in, and hopefully it makes the day special for them.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Such an enriching experience to be able to share with the students of the Leonora Delville Primary School. What I really love about the years we've been able to be a part of these type of events, Ron, is the fact that we continue to see so much diversity.
Yes.
I think year in and year out, I think persons are really moving away from the idea that you have to fit into that white collar industry. And I think industries like media really speaks to unconventional and really makes us unique. And I'm really happy to see kids leaning towards those types of careers.
I think when we get the opportunity to speak with the students, and believe it or not, without knowing, you realize just how much they're watching and they're paying attention. And it is awe-inspiring to be able to work but still inspire next generation of greatness. Continuing on the local scene, a usual Sunday evening drive for a Seacows Bay resident nearly turned fatal on May 23rd after an alleged daredevil driver caused the 39-year-old male to crash into a wall, breaking his ribs, a shoulder bone, and puncturing a lung. Our reporter Kamal Haynes has the story.
Lawrence Anthony Seiforts, who remains hospitalized in a stable condition at a Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital, recounted to our news station the dreadful moments that led to his accident, which occurred in the vicinity of CS White Dock. According to Seiforts, he and 3 other occupants were traversing from the East End area on his way home when he surprisingly met a motorist who was recklessly using the roadway. Seiforts said the motorist was driving a silver car and was in the process of doing burnouts before losing control and heading towards his direction. To avert from crashing into the reckless motorist, Seiforts said he opted to steer his Nissan motor car from the direction of the vehicle, but in doing so, he lost control and crashed into a stationary wall.
We was coming home back because the rain started fall up eastern, so we decided not to stay up there anymore. We was coming home back. Well, when we reached up there, this silver car, because that is all I could remember, the silver car, I didn't catch the number plate. It started spinning the wheel to go up the hill. You know, like when you drag racing, are you burning out the tire? So I start doing it started sliding towards me. So when I pull from him, and I realized I'm going over the cliff. So I pull back from the cliff, and when I pull back from the cliff, I lose control, and I run straight into the wall down by CSY back there, by the beach right down there.
The Seacoast Bay resident said that the accident has since left him suffering in immense pain, and he fears the likelihood of a high hospital bill due to the amount of work that needs to be performed on him.
Well, the injury is 3 broken ribs, I've broken shoulder bone, and a punctured lungs right now. I have, and right now they're still trying to get fuel out of my lungs for keep me breathing. But I know the bill gonna be heavy. I know the bill gonna be heavy because it's several X-rays and TPC scanning and all the things I have to go through. You understand me? So I can't tell you the bill yet. But I know the bill gonna be heavy due to this person who the drag racing on the road caused me to be in here.
Well, Syphox was initially scheduled to be released from the hospital on Monday, May 31st. However, due to the continuous discovery of even more complications, he presently remains in hospital care. Well, meanwhile, his concerned friend Odette, a female resident from the 4th District, was the one who took the matter public on social media over the weekend. She said the incident was one that is very worrying, as she believes such acts will continue in the BVI if left unchecked.
My concern, right, is that people are just becoming more and more reckless. You know, everybody is a daredevil, everybody is a stunt person, and, you know, they're interested in showing off themselves, you know, especially where, you know, there are people around that, you know, who can see them, cheer them on, and that type of thing. Now, I have nothing against, you know, daredevils, stunt riders, etc. I just think they need to understand and realize their danger to themselves and to others, as clearly we can see it by what happened to Lawrence.
Odette also appealed to residents to start documenting these reckless acts when spotted on the public roadways. She believes this practice will help to catch a number of the perpetrators.
The public needs to be involved, and I think, as somebody actually published on my post on one of the sites, is that we need to start taking pictures and reporting, and then heavy fines need to be imposed, because I think that will be a step in the right direction to try to curb this.
We at 284 News wish Mr. Syphox a speedy and healthy recovery. Kamal Haynes reporting for 284 News.
Viewers, quite an unfortunate turn of events. We are happy, however, that Mr. Lawrence Anthony Syphox is recovering, and we continue to wish him a safe and healthy recovery.
Absolutely. Now, still ahead of the break, we are live with the one and only Mr. Brent Hoyte on the launch of his new gospel album, Island Praise, as well as the BVI Red Cross now urging residents and businesses to be prepared ahead of the above-average hurricane season. All that and so much more right after this commercial break.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up power?
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Now continuing on the local scene, the BVI Red Cross Association is urging all residents and businesses to be prepared ahead of the busy predicted 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, which officially commenced on June 1st. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, this year's hurricane season, which runs through November 30th, is predicted to yield some 13 to 20 named storms, with 6 to 10 possible hurricanes and another 3 to 5 major hurricanes. Speaking, of course, to our 284 Media Agency, Director of the BVI Red Cross Association, Stacy Lloyd, urged the BVI community to start their preparedness efforts as a busy season predicted comes with expected or possible landslide and flooding. Listen in.
There will be expectations of heavy rains, landslides, floods, and so we urge the community to start preparedness efforts. So making sure that you have an emergency go bag ready that is suitable for your family and for you, meaning that the emergency go bag would have what you and your family would need. Your first aid kits, make sure you have that, and your emergency evacuation plan. That document is updated and you go over it with your family so that they know what to do in the event of a hurricane or tropical storm, thunderstorm, etc. Again, we just want to urge people to have food, water, and other basic necessities at hand, and to make sure that you have all of your personal protective equipment because we are still going through a pandemic.
Now, viewers, the BVI Red Cross director also said that her organization has commenced mobilizing and ramping up their efforts, increasing both volunteer and staff capacity across the territory to prepare for the busy season. Take a look.
For us here at BVI Red Cross, we are very, very, well, I would say we're ramping up our preparedness efforts, particularly with vulnerable people, women, children, people living with disabilities, the elderly folks. And we are supporting them through, again, providing them with education material and what to do in the event of a hurricane, and making sure that they are informed about what's going on. And then we've already pre-positioned our emergency stocks across the territory. So on all of the islands, we already have our satellite containers that are staffed with everything you would need in the event that a hurricane was to come and you need immediate relief. We have everything in these different containers to provide relief to individuals for up to 300 households.
Now, viewers, as you know, the BVI was fortunate to have not experienced any major hurricanes in the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. However, the community is well aware of the dangerous associations with hurricanes following the scares left behind from the hurricanes of 2017, of course, Irma and Maria, which cost the BVI community millions of dollars in damages. Definitely, Jovan, preparedness is key, and we want to make sure that we are ready for this upcoming season.
Absolutely. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit. As promised, we are live with Brent. Now, Brent, of course, welcome back to 284 Media.
Thanks for having me. I'm 284 Media. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Now, Brent, you are fresh off the press with a spanking new album that is definitely creating quite a wave here in the BVI. So Island Praise is here. Go ahead and just tell our viewers all about it.
So Island Praise, the whole name came about, honestly, I feel as though, me personally, I feel as though we don't embrace our culture in the Caribbean, you know what I mean? I feel we're quicker to take on everybody's culture except ours own.
Right.
So for me, this project here was more or less where I find that I wanted to actually have our Caribbean music on, the way we worship God on this album. So that's why the name Island Praise is more or less Caribbean praise, how we praise God in the islands, more or less.
And you know what I love about what you just said is the fact that your music, when I think about it, has really always been very unconventional.
Yeah, definitely.
Not necessarily tied into the conventional theme that we know church music to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, which is also why you stand out and really resonate, especially with a lot of the younger people. Why is culture such an integral part of even the way we praise God?
It's huge, man. That's what separates us, to be honest. Like for me, as I tell anybody, whenever you go anywhere, like for example, if I go to St. Kitts or I go to Guyana, everybody's culture is different, whether they speak and how, whether they dress or what's not, you know what I mean?
Right.
And for us, in terms of our music, me personally, this is how I personally feel. This is Brent Hoyte views. I personally feel all music could touch the wall. Understand?
Right,
I feel
absolutely.
I feel it could touch the wall. But we just playing really like we're really scared to touch it. You know what I mean? And especially in gospel music, I tell people all the time, gospel music is not a genre.
Yes.
Understand? There's many genres in gospel music, but it's not a genre. You know what I mean? It's the good news of Jesus Christ in music. You know what I mean? So for example, for me, that's why I say I want our culture, because we're in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? We can't be USA's. We can't be like USA people. That's what they are. You know what I mean? That's what they know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So for us to actually stick out, I feel it's best for us to actually be ourselves. If we want to be ourselves, we're gonna be straight. That's me. That's how I personally feel.
And that cultural identity is so important. And
Definitely.
we do see, like you mentioned, Brent, lots of VI artists, gospel artists in particular, being recognized across the region and across the world. You guys continue to cop all the awards on the regional and international scene as well. So you're right. That definitely distinguishes VI gospel music from the rest. Now, based on what I'm seeing here, this seems to be a major collaborative effort. And when it comes to you as well, collaboration really stands out. Why is that so important to you in your music?
For me, I have family person. Understand? I have family person. That's just me generally speaking. I'm a family person. So I believe in working with my own people and let us rise to the top together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, if I put myself, if I on and I got a platform, and for the most part it's doing pretty okay, I want to bring my whole team with me who've been there from day one. You know what I mean? So that's why I had everybody who when I was starting the gospel, the whole gospel scene. For me, I wanted to bring them on this particular project, you know what I mean? That's why I have Gabriel Dene, I got Dylan J, I got Onik, Shiloh, Kendra, and one from St. Kitts. That's all my people who started out with me, and just bring them on, you know what I mean? I'm really family oriented. You know what I mean?
A lot of the greats on this album, and it's
man.
very, very incredible, I think, to say the least. So Brent, I will allow you to go ahead and introduce the song that you'd like to share with us, with our viewers today. So take it away.
All right, so this song in particular is called Sound the Alarm. It's been out as a single for probably a year or so now. But this is one of the favorite songs that people like whenever I'm playing, like going Sunday Live, or if I have to do something, they like to hear this one in particular. So Sound the Alarm, hope y'all like it.
Sound the alarm.
Brent Hoyte, a live remix.
Gotta go home. Jesus, Redeemer, my Savior, forever.
Listen up. Yeah, we under attack, yeah. And the devil ain't holding back. But he time running out. Tick-tock for real. The Jesus team ain't playing. Kingdom people, what you saying? This life ain't no game. So tell them God is the name. Wait, hold on. This is a Jesus song. Christians stand up tall and let we sound the alarm. Wait, hold on. This is a Jesus song. Christians stand up tall and let we sound the alarm. Let me sound the alarm.
All right, that was just a snippet, and of course, just part of the greatness that this album is, and clearly a huge undertaking, Brent, as it relates to creating an album. And also, besides a musician, we do know that you are also a music teacher, you're a husband, you're a father. Plus, you're trying a little thing in the gym. We ain't sure
What?
if you get
Train a little thing in the
Hey,
you have to get closer into my chest by chance.
You still in the gym?
Oh, if I'm still in the gym, come on, look at this camera. Come on, you know what's going on. Come on, don't do that to me.
All right,
don't do that to me, man.
I hope you
I'm
don't
in the gym, man.
Well, anyways, but on a real note, like, how do you find the inspiration to not only keep going, but also to balance all of these different aspects of your life?
Honestly, all around, everywhere is inspiration. I mean, I was just listening to you and Ron just now speak just now. And in my head, I'm like, how are they even doing this? I mean, I know you have practice, but I mean, like, for that in itself is inspiration for me. So I get my inspiration from all over. You know what I mean? Just walking on the road and I see a chicken taking care of it. It's so simple
Right.
stuff.
Absolutely.
Inspiration just come from all over the place, man.
Yeah.
So inspiration is all over, man.
Yeah. And again, without a doubt, this is a great album, Brent. We continue to celebrate you. We know
Thank you.
it's not an easy task to push forward and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I know the other artists too, so we want to congratulate them as well. And we cannot forget musical genius, Mr. Jugu.
I
know you guys worked very hard on this project, so congratulations once again. But as we close out, Brent, can you just please let our viewers know where to find your album, where are you streaming, and how they can support your work?
All right, so my album is on all social music platforms, from your iTunes to your Amazon Music, your Tidal, whatever music platform there is out there, you can find it. Just type in Island Praise, Brent Hoyte, and you'll be able to find it and support, all right?
All right, Brent, again, congratulations, and of course, keep up the good works.
Thank you so much.
Our viewers, up next ahead of the break, the conversation on decolonization continues, so stick with us. There's more coming after this commercial break. Viewers, welcome back to 284 News now as we begin to wind down the very important conversation on self-governance and what that means in the context of decolonization for the British Virgin Islands continues this Sunday with part 2 of the Frederick A. Pickering Memorial Lecture series. Now, to speak with us earlier today was Ms. Beverly Luis. She is the director of the Virgin Islands Studies Institute, and she really spoke on the importance and timeliness of this conversation. Listening.
Last year, we started this conversation through an initiative called My Virgin Islands Story, where I was a guest on the Vigilante Dialogues with Sheena Smith, now yes. Sheena Smith Archer, and
who's
we were actually
very much guiding the conversation as well.
Yeah, we were actually looking at social development and economic development and political development of this territory. Because she did a course at the college in Virgin Islands history, and she found it very enlightening. And so we had about maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and we got to the political part. And she came up with this idea of My Virgin Islands Story, and we collaborated on it. And this is how this particular, I decided to host it under the Frederick Pickering Memorial Series, the lecture series, and we actually started last year.
Now, you spoke about the Constitution, and clearly, like you mentioned, a document that as residents of the territory and as citizens, we ought to be perusing. It's very important that we understand what's in the Constitution. But like you rightfully said, it could be a bit intimidating, being that it's such a thick piece of document and in the language that is being presented for the general persons to understand. So I do believe it's a very timely conversation as we project forward, especially now since we're going through constitutional reform. So part 2 is coming up on Sunday. What is the context of this discussion, and who are we hearing from on Sunday?
Well, yes, as the dialogue continues, there will be 2 presenters this time. We have Dr. Carlisle Corbin, and he's right from our neighbors next door, USVI. But he's an international advisor on decolonization.
Now, Ron, we do know that the current conversation is a little bit skewed as it relates to these topics, and we consider independence, free association, yes, integration. So I definitely think this is a timely one, and we're encouraging members of the BVI public to come out on Sunday. The Island L Auditorium. Yes, that's at HLSCC. To be a part of the conversation. But for now, viewers, that is all the time we have. Of course, you can join us again tomorrow right here at 6 p.m. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. It's always a pleasure. Have a happy Thursday and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.